All right, now let's take a look at what is kind of a pictograph. So what I have here is I'm at the Johns Hopkins University in Medicine Coronavirus Resource Center. And this is one of the maps they provide. It's a world map. Um, Zooming out, and what it is a world map, and the red dots symbolize cases, the number of cases. The larger the red dot, the more cases. So not a great view of the map from here. We're looking out at the world. You can see there are some big areas of cases. Some data is different. So in this case, where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Over here. All right, here, for example, we have a very large red dot up here in the middle. That's Russia. Now, Russia is not reporting the locations specifically, but as we go, I can go to that red dot, for example. I wait for it to load. It is slowly loading. Slowly loading. There we go. Nope. Thought it was done. We're loading. We're loading. I think I'm giving my computer a workout. Close some other stuff. All right, there we go. I click on that. It comes up. It tells me that in Russia there are 414,878 confirmed cases of COVID and 4,855 deaths. Awesome. That's not bad. We can see that. So let's move this map around. Let's go somewhere where we have a real idea. So let's look at North America. We're loading. We're loading. We're loading. So this is a US-based university, and they are doing research primarily on US data, collecting it from other places so they can get data of specific locations. So they get most data from just local countries, provinces, territories, states within other countries. So that's why we don't have the same thing. So the United States though has a huge number of cases. Let's zoom in a little more. So here we see our Canada. Where's my mouse? Up here. You see these red dots. We can click on them. We can see in BC, we have up here in the 2,573 cases and 164 deaths. And you can check it. We know that there are about 400 new cases just in the last day or so in Ontario. And they're at, over here in the top left corner, 29,635 confirmed cases, 2,347 deaths. All right, that gives you an idea. We know that Italy was really hard hit. Let's take a zoom in on Italy. And then we'll go back and talk about the United States a little bit. And whoa, a little too close. So Italy looks like it's getting regional reporting as well. We have dots spread all around. I know Milan was one of the hardest hit areas. A friend who lives there, they've been in quarantine for quite a while. Locked at home, can't go out and do stuff. So here's Italy. Having fun. My mouse doesn't show up on the board yet. There it goes. Milan. Let's look at Milan. So Milan has reported, or Lombardia, 89,000 cases with 16,000 deaths. Crazy. Now, compared to France, we only got the data, or Johns Hopkins University only got the data as a whole, where they had just about 186,000 cases and just shy of 29,000 deaths. So let's zoom back out. We're going to go back to the States and we'll take a look. So what we see here is we see tiny dots for places where there's not a lot of cases. Come on, map. It's laggy. I'm going to pause and let my stuff load up. I wish I knew how to pause it. All right, so here we have the United States. So if we look around, what do you notice? You notice there's some small dots scattered here and there. There's areas that have lots of dots, and there's some areas that have bigger dots. So remember what I said? Small dots, the smaller the dot, the less number of cases. The larger the dot, the more cases. So we can see here in Montana, a lot of uninhabited area. I click on that. So So we look here at Marshall, Montana. Click on the dot, or Musselshell, Montana. Can't even read. One case. There's only one case in this area, so it gets a tiny little dot. Now, as you notice, the larger dots are occurring around major cities. Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, Phoenix, Dallas. But a majority of the cases are in the highly populated eastern seaboard. COVID-19 is great for graphs. All right, what do we have here? We have New York. I want to zoom in on this. I'm just going to pause this for a second. I'm going to zoom in again. All right, so here we are zoomed in on New York. So a bunch of little dots here and there. All right, this is the area where I grew up. Let's see, there was 20 cases in the area where I grew up. But let's focus in on New York City. It's been a major epicenter of cases in there. So we click on this. I get New York City. There have been 200,000 cases. So the dot is larger. In this case, it's not to scale. Otherwise, to show the individual areas of smaller cases, it would be overwhelmed. This dot would become too huge. 21,000. So the dot size matter. So when you're designing a graph, those are things you need to keep in mind. How big do you want the dots? Do you want to set a maximum limit? And cases scattered all throughout. Let's see right here. Boston. Only 17,000 cases. Finger Lakes, the Adirondacks, all sorts of nice stuff. So this is one way to look at graphs. All right, so here we're looking at the BC CDC website of the COVID-19 dashboard. I'll provide a link for it later on. What we have listed here is a BC-wide look at the provincial health authorities territories, which we have the northern, hang on, where's my mouse? There it is. The Northern Territory, Interior Territory, Fraser Territory, Vancouver Coastal, Vancouver Island, and the Bella Coola region. As you click on each of those regions, you see where all the cases are. And what we have here are different views of data. So the data is broken up by groups, and then here we have a bar graph or histogram of the number of cases in each area. So we see that Fraser Valley has the most, Vancouver Coastal, Interior, Van Isle, Northern, and there seems to be none in Bella Coola. 900. So I don't know why it hasn't made the graph. Because Bella Coola is part of the Vancouver Coastal. Interesting. And here we have a distribution chart of different age demographics. Ages less than 10, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, and so on. And how many cases of COVID there have been. Most cases have occurred in my age group and the 50 to 59 age group. Here we have the daily charting of how many cases. So we have the case that was reported all the way back here on January 26th. Not many cases, but then as we hit May, this line indicates May. This is number of cases, and this is month. As you hover over, you get different dates. The most number of reported cases was on the 25th of March. We had 87 reported cases. And then this is when we really started to see. We started the quarantine here on the 7th. Here on the 17th, they really ramped it up. 16, yeah, I think the 15th or the 16th is where they reported the shutting stuff down. And then we saw about 2 weeks later a decrease, and then we've continued to decreases. That's great because it shows us really how we've done as far as getting rid of cases. This is an overlay, so you can see where, and you can see that it's predominantly red and purple, which is the Vancouver Coastal, and the Fraser Valley. And if we go up here, we can click on the different ones, and we can see Fraser Valley. It's going to load everything. They tell you how many cases you've had in the left here, currently admitted, currently hospitalized, and how many recovered. And you can see how the trends have gone. They also give you the number of total tests that have been done in that region. So it's nice to look at all. In BC, there have been 141,000 tests, almost 2,000 new tests. I'm not sure what that exactly means. And then they give you the rate of testing per million people. So our rate of testing is 23,662 per million people, compared to the Canadian testing of 42,000. So this is an informational way to represent how many things are happening. When a percent doesn't quite cut it, but here, and then we can extrapolate knowing how many people are in each area. So these are just different ways to look at it, lots of bar graphs. I'm going to see if I can find a line graph. I'm going to close this out and I'm going to exit.